What is going on, everyone? So, I will be completely straight up with all of you guys. I forgot entirely about the Oscars this year. Usually they happen in February, but they got pushed back to April because of everything that happened in the last year. So now we are getting the Oscars in 2021, surprisingly, but at the same time, are these Oscars going to be as memorable as the Oscars in years past? Probably not. I feel like a lot of the movies that were nominated for all the categories this year probably would not have been nominated if a lot of the other movies that were pushed back to 2021 ended up coming out last year instead. But nevertheless, thanks to other YouTubers who put out their Oscar predictions for this year, I remembered because of them. So now here we are, my 2021 Oscar predictions. This has become a yearly tradition, but unlike other years, this time around I am doing it right here on the spot and making my predictions. Usually I'll have done it ahead of time, and then when I film the video, I'll be able to list off all the nominations as well as who I think is going to win. I have it all in my notes, but here right now, since this year's Oscars are so unorthodox, I'm just going to do it right here on the spot. Alright, that's enough of me babbling on. Let's get right into my 2021 Oscar predictions. As usual, let's start with the smaller categories. Beginning with Best Visual Effects, the nominations are Love and Monsters, The Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan, and Tenet. I did say back when I reviewed The Midnight Sky that this movie will get one Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects, and would you look at that? I was correct, but who's going to win this category? If I had to choose, I would go with Tenet. This is the only Oscar nomination for Christopher Nolan's Tenet. Surprisingly, I thought this movie was going to get nominated for 10 Oscars, but I guess people thought this movie was too darn confusing to nominate it at all for any other categories. So the Oscars are dumb as usual. I hate the Academy every single year. It's not really surprising that they snubbed Tenet, but that's the movie I'm going to choose to win this category. As for Best Film Editing, the Oscar nominations are The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. I've only seen one of those movies, The Trial of the Chicago 7. I've been meaning to watch Sound of Metal, but have not gotten around to it yet. So I have no idea who I'm going to choose for this category. Who do I pick? I don't know. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick Sound of Metal. That movie is gaining tons of traction, so I would not be surprised if it takes home a lot of Oscars. I usually skip over hair and makeup and costume design. I just never found those categories as integral to my video as the other categories for the Oscars. Going to Best Cinematography, the nominations are Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, News of the World, Nomadland, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. This is an easy one in my opinion. I'm picking Mank. Everyone from their grandmother and on praised the cinematography of Mank when it came out on Netflix last December, so if this movie did not win Best Cinematography, I would probably have to reconsider what I'm doing here on YouTube predicting these Oscars. Best Production Design, the nominations are The Father, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, News of the World, and Tenet. Would you look at that? I didn't even notice that Tenet was nominated for 2 Oscars. I thought it was only nominated for 1, but luckily 2 Oscars for Christopher Nolan this year. Once again, I'm picking Mank. That movie transported us back in time to the golden age of Hollywood. Best Sound. I guess they got rid of sound editing and sound mixing this year and just made it Best Sound for some reason. But the nominations are Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Soul, and Sound of Metal. If we're looking at the technical Oscar categories, this is certainly the one spot where Tenet should not have been nominated, and it was not. It only makes sense for me to pick Sound of Metal again here. I don't see any other movie beating it. Okay, usually I pick Best Original Song, but this year there are no songs that grab my attention, at least at the last Oscars. We had the song from Toy Story 4 that was pretty good from Randy Newman, but this year I don't see anything that's really great. So we're moving on to Best Original Score. The Oscar nominations are The Five Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul. Hey, would you look at that? I saw 3 of the movies in this category. I'm gonna pick Soul though for this category because it utilized jazz, and we haven't had too much jazz in the Pixar universe yet in terms of music, so I think that's the movie that's gonna take home home this category. I also always, every single year, skip over the categories for documentaries and short subjects. I don't know a single thing about those categories, and this year it doesn't change. But if you guys have your predictions for those categories this year, let me know down below. Moving along to Best Supporting Actress, the nominations are Maria Bakalova for Borat, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman for The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, and Yoon Ye-jun for Minari. The problem with this one is that since I usually base a lot of my predictions off of who won in the Golden Globes, for this category, nobody who was nominated for this won the Golden Globe for the similar category at the Golden Globes. So you know what? I'm picking Olivia Colman. Like I said, The Father is an indie darling, so it makes the most amount of sense for this movie to take home a couple Oscar nominations, and I know that Colman's performance has been praised by many. As for Best Supporting Actor, the nominations are Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trial of the Chicago 7. Yes, I said The Trial of the Chicago 7, not Borat. Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Paul Raci for Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. Everyone has constantly praised Daniel Kaluuya's performance in Judas and the Black Messiah, so I'm picking him. Then we go to Best Actor. The nominations are Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins for The Father, Gary Oldman for Mank, and Steven Yeun for Minari. So Chadwick Boseman took home the similar Golden Globe to this category back when the Golden Globes happened, and it's hard for me to say whether or not I think he's going to win this one because they want to honor him. He did pass away last year. So in a way, it's kind of like that Heath Ledger treatment because he's both really great and they also want to honor him. But at the same time, everyone is talking about how great Riz Ahmed is in Sound of Metal. I would be surprised if neither of these guys took home this Oscar. But because I think they want to celebrate the life of Chadwick and this is the last chance he has to win an Oscar, I think they're going to give him this award. Finishing off the Best Actor and Actress categories, we have Best Actress. And the nominations here are Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andre Day for The United States vs. Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. There are a lot of really talented actresses here in this category, so again, this is a very difficult one to choose, but like every year, I have to just go off who won the similar category at the 2021 Golden Globes, and that would be Andre Day for The United States versus Billie Holiday, so I'm picking her to win this one. That leaves us with two final categories. Next up, we have Best Director. The nominations are Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. I think it's pretty obvious that there are three contenders for this award: Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, and of course David Fincher for Mank. But everyone's been talking about Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. I think she will take home this award for Best Director. And our final Oscar category of the day is Best Picture. The nominations are The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. As I stated at the start of this video, I guarantee you if 2020 wasn't such a screwed up year, we most likely would have had more movies nominated. We only got 8 this year. I could have seen a good 9 to 10 movies nominated instead. Also, if it weren't for such a miserable year, I don't see movies like The Father or Promising Young Woman picking up so much traction over time. Since there were so few movies last year, a lot of people recognized these smaller movies, and instead these movies became bigger and bigger as the year went on, and that's how they got nominated for Oscars. Once again, like a lot of the other categories here, this is another tough one. I'm not sure who's going to win this, but if I had to choose, I usually do separate the winners of Best Picture and Best Director from each other. That didn't happen last year thanks to Parasite, but this year I think it'll be different. I'm picking Sound of Metal to win this year's Best Picture. I wouldn't be totally shocked if we saw a movie like Minari or Mank or even The Trial of the Chicago 7 taking home this award. It's really down to all of those plus Nomadland. I think it has to be one of those 5, but if I had to choose based off popularity, I think Sound of Metal will take it home this year. Last year, I was wrong. I thought it was going to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It ended up being Parasite, and this year, I could be wrong again. We'll see, though. All right, and there you guys have it. Those are my predictions for the 2021 Oscars. Let me know down below in the comment section if you guys also have your predictions for all of these awards. Well, that was fun. Maybe after the award ceremony is over on Sunday night, I will do a reaction video like I did last year. But then again, do I really care nearly as much this year as I did in years past? Not really, because a lot of the movies this year that were nominated were movies I either didn't see or movies that were too small for me to see. Anyway, guys, we've got some pretty exciting things coming out this weekend. We got the Season 1 finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as well as a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out on HBO Max. I cannot wait for both of those, so expect both of my reviews of those two coming out this weekend. As always, guys, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.